Can you talk about the ingredients that you put together to make ayahuasca and how those combine to actually work?
Sure. Ayahuasca is a tea. It's really basic. There's really two principal main ingredients in our part of the Amazon that gets used. One is a vine that's named ayahuasca, and I don't know, that's its name, but it's a vine. You just kind of see it growing there, like many vines in the Amazon. The vines kind of tie the whole Amazon together. You rarely see a tree without vines interconnecting it to another tree. There are just vines all over the place, and many of them have medicinal properties associated with them. There are vines for diabetes. There are vines for different kinds of arthritis. There are vines for different kinds of cold, kind of like your common cold and flu and stuff like that. And there happens to be ayahuasca. And when you mix ayahuasca with this leaf called Chakruna, it's a relative of the coffee family, comes from a kind of bushy tree that grows in the shade. You take the leaf and the vine and you put it together and you get ayahuasca. That combination is incredibly visionary, it's incredibly potent, and it's a mixture of a number of MAOI, which are these inhibitors that inhibit an enzyme in the stomach that allows for the digestion and the uptake of dimethyltryptamine that comes from the chacruna into the brain. Otherwise, the stomach would just break it down and you wouldn't have any experience at all. So the combination of the vine plus the chacruna leaves allows for the body to absorb by inhibiting this enzyme in the stomach. And then you have a much longer experience than what people know of as like a DMT trip. It lasts, in, like I said, anywhere from 3 to 8 hours, sometimes 13, 16 hours. And the longest I've seen is a few days, but those are in very rare cases and usually very specific reasons of the person and why they would have that experience. But most people are in and out within 3 to 6 hours of the experience. And those are the two main ingredients. And then after that, the shaman, depending on the kinds of plants they work with, can use a number of different admixtures. And there's really not just one recipe of ayahuasca. So in our lineage, we can use anywhere from 7 to 14 other plants that can be added to the ayahuasca as well. And they're just added to give it more strength. Not in the sense to make it more potent. It's actually the opposite. It's to make you stronger and more capable of handling the experience. And so those are typically different kinds of tree barks that we work with that come from a whole segment of shamanism that's called palero shamanism or tree shamanism. And then also from Sanango and the Sanangueros, which is Sanango-based shamanism. The shamanism in the Amazon is broken down based on the different kinds of medicinal plants that you're working with and what you've trained with. And so there are many specialties. And our lineage, we're trained in 5 specialties of different kinds of visionary plants. And so they kind of all get intercombined into the ayahuasca that our lineage uses so that we can then pull from those different aspects of the practice to be supportive and helpful in the ceremony for all the different variety of reasons you would see in an ayahuasca ceremony.